The Nigerian Army celebrates 162 years since its establishment. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is reaffirming his commitment to the welfare and operational capacity of the Nigerian Armed Forces, saying that his administration will continue investing in modern equipment, intelligence, and human capital to ensure officers and personnel of the military are well armed. In his words, quote, while a country is as strong as the courage of those who defend it, the Nigerian Army has remained the spine of Nigeria's sovereignty for the past 162 years, shaping the course of the nation's history. What does this mean in the country and for the people of Nigeria? Right beside me are data feeds coming through in one place simultaneously on all our social media platforms, controltv.ng. Find us right now and follow on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and on X. Find our short feeds on TikTok. We've got all our stories on the armed forces covered right here on Gallantry, a program that brings to you the heroism, sacrifices, and achievements of the military. There is more. The grand finale of the Nigerian Army Day celebration at the Murtala Muhammad Square in Kaduna State heard President Bola Ahmed Tinubu saying that the nation owes it as a duty to keep equipping and empowering those who defend it. You shall hear more on that. Gallantry begins right now. Welcome everyone to a robust presentation on this episode. It's prime time in Nigeria. I am Gimbo Umar. The Army has just concluded its Army Day celebration for this year, marking 162 years of service to protect our sovereignty. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu gave a supreme charge and commitment to support the military and expects something in return.
The creme de la creme of the military have gathered here, some with their spouse, others with friends and family. One by one, they trickle into the venue of the 2025 Nigeria Army Day celebration, northwest of Nigeria. A celebration of its 162 years since inception has become a yearly ritual for the military. The arrival of the Chief of Defence Staff General Christopher Musa, in company of other top-ranking officers, signalled the start of the event. Pleasantries were exchanged amongst the officers, including the Army, the Air Force and the Navy. It seemed to be in batches as the Ministers of Defence and the Minister of States for Defence also arrived together to grace the occasion.
On behalf of the Nigerian Army Aviation, I extend the highest regard of the acting coordinator, Brigadier General Musa and Your Excellency and all the people private members. Thank you for your attention. The first equipment to bypass is the infantry. The infantry corps is the first one. The federal element of the Nigerian Army Infantry and is responsible for training of Nigerian Army personnel and that of sister services on amphibious and riverine operations. Leading the amphibious training through formation are both operators. These both operators are tasked with the responsibility of operating all types of Nigerian Army boats. The divers are the next information. The divers perform underwater construction, test and recovery of any missing equipment as well as underwater demolition. Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, following divers are the combat team. Hospital, Bangkok, Nigerian divisions and almost all brigades of Nigerian Army. The military band includes regimental parades and march past, as well as social activities within and outside the barracks for both military personnel and civilians.
A remarkable turnout soon greeted the celebration venue. Vice President Kashim, who represents the President on this occasion shortly after arriving, gets on the motorcade as he receives the salute by gallant soldiers and men of the armed forces for the Commander-in-Chief.
Is the Commander 1 Division Garrison, Brigadier General M.A. Kana, and the Parade Commander, Lieutenant Colonel B.A. Media Celebration 2025.
The array of dignitaries here reflects a roll call of past presidents, some represented. Ministers, commanders of various operations across the country, the immediate past Chief of Defence Staff, the Governor of Kaduna State, including some members of his cabinet, as well as well-wishers of the armed forces of Nigeria.
Maritime boundary called that's what we stay here.
Chief of Army Staff from September 1993. Chief of Army Staff, thereafter Lieutenant from January 2014 to July. Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, Chief of Army Staff, 2021. Was succeeded by Lieutenant General I. Atahiru Thereafter, Lieutenant from January 2014 to July. Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, Chief of Army Staff, 2021. Was succeeded by Lieutenant General I. Atahiru
His display on motorbikes to massive armory for both land, air and sea technical operations, seen by many as a statement of the armed forces' preparedness to protect the territorial integrity of the country.
But we are witnessing the fairness with countless powers of liberation and operation with corruption to bring around our flag. The story of life in the Nigerian army already has a rich history that reflects the evolution of the moral tradition of the community.
An award of medals to deserving officers is reflective of their heroic efforts in various operations from the north to the south. Shettima gives the charge of his principal, the president. The charge directed to the CDS and his men without mincing words.
He directed water into the Boko Haram controlled area that caused havoc.
I commend your commitment to placing the soldier at the center of reform, and I assure you that this administration stands firmly with you on that path. We are not unaware of the challenges that confront our nation. Terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and separatist agitations have threatened our peace and our unity. These are not mere security threats, they are existential ones. And let it be said plainly, these evils do not discriminate by tribe or color. They destroy churches and mosques alike. They abduct children without asking why they worship. Therefore, our response must be united, calm, and uncompromising. To the officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Army, I say this with clarity. The time to rise is now. You have my full authorization and the trust of the Nigerian people to confront and defeat those who seek to undermine our nation. You have my confidence, my support, and my prayers. And I know that you have the resolve to prepare. But I'm not unmindful that this long march towards peace has come at a cost. Many of our pioneers have fallen in the line of duty. Some now lie in silence beneath the soil of a grateful nation. Others carry the wounds of war as living reminders of the sacrifices made in our name. To the families they left behind, I extend the deepest sympathies of a nation that shall never forget. Their blood was not spilled in vain. Their memory will certainly endure for generations. And to those who remain in service, I urge you to press on with honor, guided by our Constitution and by the principles of international law. Your strength must remain disciplined. Your courage must remain anchored in justice. And your mission must remain rooted in the values that define us as a people. I take this opportunity to appreciate all stakeholders contributing to peace and national security across Nigeria. We must never forget that nation building is not the work of soldiers alone. It is the responsibility of every citizen, every leader, and every institution.
Interesting parade of some of the finest of the military's maneuvers and resources. When gallantry returns, Chief of Army Staff hints on the essence of the celebration as his predecessor calls for encouragement for the gallant soldiers. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Oluyede, recognizes the strides made by the soldiers. Take a listen.
Earlier, the Chief of Army Staff, while welcoming invited guests, have a background and essence of the Nigerian Army Day celebration.
This year's celebration is holding at the crucial period when the high percentage of Nigerian Army troops are fully committed in ongoing operations across the country. Recently, our nation has been challenged by enemies of peace, perpetrating all forms of criminality and terrorism within our borders. Notwithstanding, the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with sister services and other security agencies, have been able to rise to the occasion by denying these criminal elements the opportunity to disrupt territorial integrity of our dear country, Nigeria.
I feel satisfied. That's the way I would look at it. I'm in good health. I retain my posture, and not because I'm doing anything extra, but because there is grace from God. That's one. Then for those we left behind, unless we want to tell lies, they are rising up to the occasion. But because security itself is dynamic, the people, the adversaries we are contending with, they are also not sitting down. So that's how at times we see a spike and we overcome. The level they are now even more proactive than before, and there are so many other additional resources that they are having that were not there when we were there. So that added together with their own zeal and resilience, with their commitment and professionalism, I believe they are doing the needful and we will soon overcome.
Very proud of them, and we look forward to them putting more efforts to contain the situation. No matter what, those guys are doing their best, and they need their support. They need the support of everybody. All right? No matter the challenges, I think they are doing the best. You are here. You are sure, at least barring any circumstances, you'll still go back home and sleep. But they are not sure that they will come back, alive. So we must continue to acknowledge them, to praise them, to encourage them. All right? Once you're in the battlefield, you are already in a matter of life and death any moment. So they should not be discouraged. We must encourage them, and they must be looked at as patriots, as people that have sacrificed, have continued to sacrifice themselves, their families, their comfort, all right, for us. Thank you.
As the event comes to a close past, Chief learnt their voices in saluting the courage of soldiers fighting the war against Boko Haram and ISWAP forces in the north, with a definitive plea to all Nigerians to give them the required support to defeat insurgents once and for all.
Of helicopters shall peace, flexibility, and access to diverse.
And that's where we draw the curtains on this episode of Gallantry, a program that brings to you the successes, achievements, and advancements of the military. You can send your questions and your thoughts to our email. I am Gimba Umar, and this is Gallantry.